Hi, this is Grandpa. Welcome to Grandpa's Toolkit. Today we're going to build a birdhouse, and it sounds like it might be something difficult, but you can do this. You'll need a saw to cut wood, and you'll need the wood, and you'll need some plans. So let's get into it. Today we're going to build a bluebird house. That's the birdhouse that I've chosen, and I'm using plans from the Missouri Department of Conservation. We're going to put a link to that in our link tree so that you can go there, but you can go online. There's thousands of different websites that offer free plans for birdhouses. Today we're going to use just a cedar plank, and it's actually just one of the things for a fence, the upright pieces for a fence. And I'm using cedar because cedar doesn't rot. I'm going to leave it natural. So I've taken my cedar plank, I've done all the measurements and drawn it out, and I've actually written what each piece is, the front, back, sides, things like that, so I'll remember what I'm cutting. And I'm going to turn that to the inside so it's not visible, and that'll give the birds something to read while they're sitting on their eggs. Okay, so we're cutting the board according to the lines, and I'm using a battery-powered circular saw. Now you'll notice I'm using clamps to hold the board still, and that helps me cut a nice straight line. So what we're using, we are using galvanized nails, and that means they've been dipped in zinc or another non-rusting component so that we won't have rust. And right now I'm going to start them so that once I'm ready to glue and nail, the nails will already be started and it'll be a real easy thing to put together. I'm using weatherproof glue, and we're just going to put a little bit on, and then we can set it up, line this up. This is the bottom piece, and I've cut corners and drilled some holes, and that will allow any rain that gets in through either the hole we're going to cut or from the top ventilation area. Any rain that gets in will just drain out through the bottom because of the holes and the corners. One of the things about bluebirds is they like to have a reasonably clean house. So we're screwing the lid on so we can take it off every fall and clean it out for next year's bluebirds. I also have a pencil here, and that's going to be a spacer for us that as I screw in the top, it will allow ventilation. So during the summer, it won't get so hot in the bluebird house. Bluebirds use a 1.5-inch hole for their birdhouse. They don't like them any bigger or any smaller. And this is what's called a paddle drill. It looks kind of like a shovel or a paddle for canoeing. And it's got the point for your center. And then each edge and a little bit of this is a cutter. And this will allow us to go ahead and drill a hole. The other option for drilling something like that, you can use a hole saw, which is actually a round thing with teeth all the way around the circle, or you could draw a smaller hole and use a jigsaw. And that's how you make a bluebird house. Thanks to the Missouri Conservation Department for showing us how.